Hello, namaste, assalamu alaikum, welcome to Cricket for Us. We give you the latest cricket news, and today we're going to have a kind of cricket roundup because we have to talk about the Australia-India series. Loads going on about it. We're going to talk about what's happening with Pakistan and the cricket board and their management. We're going to touch upon some of the matches that are coming on later on this week in terms of the international calendar. And we're going to vaguely mention the franchise cricket, so BBL and the PSL, that's going to start on the 20th of February. So lots to get through, so here we go. First off, Australia versus India. The third test match was brilliant. Great fight shown by India, and they got it to a draw, and then we've got a final at the Gabba. But there is an injury 11 list, which is absolute madness. It's not just India, but I'll go through the Indian one. Ishant Sharma didn't come to Australia for this tour. Rohit Sharma was injured. Now he's back in the side. Virat Kohli went back for paternity. Then what do you have? You have Mohammad Shami got injured in the first test. Umesh Yadav got injured in the second test. Ravi Jadeja was out and then he came back in for the second test. And now in the third test, Ravi Jadeja got injured. Hanuma Vihari got injured. Rishabh Pant got injured. Jasprit Bumrah got injured. Yep, that's the big news right now. Jasprit Bumrah is injured, and 9 times out of 10, he ain't playing in that final fourth test match in Brisbane at the Gabba. Now, Ashwin is potentially injured. He's more 50-50. KL Rahul got injured before the third test, so he isn't included in the squad anymore. And Mayank Agarwal in the nets got injured as well. So India definitely do not have an idea of what their team is going to look like for this final test match. The funny thing though, India can genuinely have an injuries 11, like I said multiple times now, that can target any team in the world right now. And they're all unavailable for India to play against Australia. More likely than not, Mayank Agarwal, I think it's 50-50 as well. So hopefully he's fit enough to start off in that Brisbane game. And Rishabh Pant looked all right when he was batting in the 5th day in that third test match. So hopefully is, fit. And I think they'll bring in Saha as the keeper and Rishabh Pant as a genuine, just as a batsman. So that's very interesting. On top of that, David Warner is still injured, right? He hasn't recovered. He didn't look good in the field. He didn't look good with the bat. I think he's not playing the next game. Will Bukowski injured his shoulder in the field, right? He doesn't look like he's playing the game. So maybe Matthew Wade goes back to opening. They're probably going to get someone like Marcus Harrison because Joe Burns, I don't think they're going to get him back, right? So loads of injuries in this series. Madness. Best of luck to everyone. That fourth test match starts on the 15th of January, this Friday. Breaking news! There has been a decision on what's going to happen with regards to Misbah Waqar and Waqar Yunus's tenure with the Pakistani coaching staff and the management. So this is what they've said. They've said this tour of South Africa to Pakistan will be their final chance to make a name for themselves. Unless and until Pakistan performs well, these guys are out of there straight after the series. There's going to be another committee hearing where they just don't care about anything. They're going to be like, okay, if you guys don't perform well, you two are out of here. Which means potentially Pakistan will get that new coach and new bowling coach that we were mentioning a couple of days ago. So this is some very interesting times. Misbah Waqar and Waqar Yunus need to step it up. And plus, the biggest issue I've seen with regards to Misbah's selection as the coach, as the selector, he doesn't know what team to put out at what time. Rather than giving them a proper foundation to stand on, I think that's the big reason for why the committees have actually made a decision that this is their last chance. The funny thing is, 5 out of the 7 committee members were against them. Misbah Waqar came up with some excuses apparently, so did Waqar Yunus. Don't want to dive too much into it, but long story short, the South Africa tour is their last chance. Last bit of news, England-Sri Lanka starts on the 14th of January. The teams look ready. The only players who I know who's not playing is Moeen Ali because of the COVID situation, but the rest, England look pretty good to win this test match, but I think it's going to be a very close series personally, so let's see how it goes. Right, now to the franchises, BBL. I'm supporting Melbourne Stars, who are 7th right now. Sydney Sixers sit at the top of the pile. Melbourne Stars look dejected, look absolutely played out of their minds. They are not looking like the team I expected them to look like, especially based on last season. So yeah, this time around, all the teams are doing decently well. Melbourne Stars, not so much. Melbourne Renegades, not so much either. Sydney Sixers right now look as the best team of the lot. They sit at the top of the pile, but Sydney Thunder is not too far behind. I think Daniel Sams is back for them as well, which would be a huge boost for their bowling and in a way their batting as well. In terms of the PSL draft happened on Sunday, and yes, I haven't reported on that as of yet. I'm waiting a couple of days till I get all my sources, and I'm going to do a video about it. I know Fazan from Quality Shot is going to release a video in the next couple of days as well, so I'm on there. We talk about everything in a lot of detail, so that's where most of my thoughts would be, but I'm going to create one which is just like a small summarized version, probably by next week sometime, so please keep an eye out for that. And yeah, the PSL, there's a couple of teams which made some interesting decisions in hindsight. Rashid Khan claims he can't play 5 or 6 games for Lahore. David Miller says he can't play 6 to 7 games for Peshawar. And this is at the start of the tournament, right? Then they've got a potential Zimbabwe-Afghanistan series, which means Mujib goes, Nabi goes, and Rashid Khan goes completely. So, yeah, some teams didn't make the best choices for sure. I think Rutherford might miss 3 or 4 games as well. So, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see if everything pans out. Let's hope the PSL goes well for Pakistani cricket and franchises all around the world, because finally have certain players, as I said, the Afghanistan players, and especially Chris Gale. I want to see Chris Gale bat like crazy in Pakistan. So that is something I'm excited for. And yeah, that's about it. There's a lot of cricket news everywhere, and I'm just trying to cover things that I know I cover a lot of on my channel. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, this week we have those 2 international games. 14th, we have England, Sri Lanka starting. And then on the 15th, we have India, Australia starting. Both brilliant test matches. I tell you, I think they're going to be really good test matches, 100%. Honestly, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you like the content. I will try and do a lot more of the cricket roundup videos. I've kind of stopped because there's so much cricket going on. It's hard to get that one day to kind of stack up all the news pieces up. And yeah, let me know what you thought about these points and just cricket in general around the world right now in the comments below. And yeah, until next time, please do take care.